friends. I have another example here of what I'm calling the Riordan Method of remote viewing, which is the culmination of many, many years of experimentation, exploration, learning, unlearning, mostly a lot of unlearning, to be honest. A lot of unlearning and exploration, because the process is my teacher. I don't have a remote viewing teacher. The process itself is my guiding force. It is my teacher. There's some methods out there that I did learn. I spent a couple hours with a couple teachers. I did, yeah. Spent a couple days back in 2001 with Ed Dames learning TRV, technical remote viewing. Very cumbersome system, and I struggled with that for 12 years, 12, 13 years, 14 years, something like that, struggling with it because the method didn't really suit me. How he had arranged it didn't really match how I remote view. And as a result, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that I went through that, because I appreciate now that I was able to recognize that, go through the unlearning process, and begin a learning process with the process itself being my teacher, not any person. I'll utilize some of their styles as best I can. I'll modify it to fit me, and it's where I came up with my term. First you learn how to remote view, then you spend the rest of your life learning how you remote view. That's how I see it. I'm not saying that's for everybody, and I can't speak for any other remote viewers other than myself, but that's how I feel about it, from my experience. That's what brings me to the Riordan Method here, which really started back here, August 10th, 2013. This video here, and I had been putting out videos for a couple of years at this time, just doing sessions, putting them up. But here's where I was starting to go through a shift. I was going away from the TRV style and delving more into Ingo's pure CRV style. It's like you got Paul Smith's book here. I spent some time with Paul talking, a couple hours of training with Paul, talking to him about a lot of things. Got to chew his ear for a while here when he lived in Austin, and I'm very grateful for that. So that's where I was here. But what I was realizing, and what prompted this change here, stage one revisited, was that I was noticing that when I did a session, a lot of the times, if remote viewing took place, it tended to take place, if I did a 45-minute session, maybe in minutes 30 to 45, there may be some remote viewing that took place. And there was 30 minutes or so of trying to get there. And that's really how it felt. I was trying to get there. And it was taking a lot of time and a lot of energy. And what I wanted was, if I'm going to do a 45-minute remote viewing or an hour-long remote viewing, I want remote viewing to be happening from the minute 1 all the way to the 1 hour mark. I don't want to be trying to get there. And so I was trying to figure out, what do I do to get there? What is happening? You can see the frustration in my face. I was very frustrated, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad for everything that I've had to go through with remote viewing to get me on the journey of the explorer of remote viewing. I'm an explorer of remote viewing. So I want to explore the process. Let the process be my guide. Let the process be my teacher. What is supposed to be happening here? So in the Riordan Method, here is a very short session. It's only 2 pages. And after the 2 pages, I felt satisfied with what I was attempting to do. This is the range of time and space right here. In traditional terms, this would be called a target. I don't like the term target. It doesn't mean anything to me. I call this a range of time and space. because that's what it actually is to me. That's what it actually is. It is a range of time and space. What is the space? Stewart, Alaska. What is the time? September 10, 1917. Okay, that's the range of times. I'm blind, of course, doing this target, doing this session. I'm blind to this. And what's taking place here? This is right after a flood. A big flood came through and washed everything out. That's what's going on here. So this is the range of time and space. And that's part of the Riordan Method right here. RTS, range of time and space. I call this first page the most important page. The most important. It is the entry into the experience that I'm about to engage in, hopefully. And it is entry proprioception. Proprioception and dimensional sensations are two words that mean very similar things to me. The dimensional sensation is what I'm looking for. The experience. I want my body, I want my proprioceptors in my nerve endings and my muscles to be feeding information into my brain. I want to feel the motion. I want to feel the dimensionality, the density, the vastness, the closeness, the movement, everything. Whatever is taking place dimensionally right here, that's what I'm after. And I want it right here, right now, on the first page. If it's not happening, I stop. And that is a key element here. That is a key in my personal method, is personal honesty. Meaning that if I'm going through entry proprioception, and if I'm not experiencing proprioception and a dimensional sensation, I stop. I'm not going to go forward because there's no remote viewing taking place. I know what this feels like because I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of experiments in working these. What a lot of remote viewers would say, God, I hate those. You know, it's the range, the quote unquote target is a mountain range. It's a river. It's a cliff, a waterfall. It's a building, Eiffel Tower. You know, just crap. What they would call crap target. They hate them. You know, but I love them. I learned to love them because this is where the real remote viewing is. This is where you're going to find real remote viewing working when the target is absolutely anything. If you're just working, typically it's a UFO or some freaky mystery thing. You're not really. Remote viewing doesn't have to take place in that for you to get some pats on the back. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I work these all the time, exclusively, because I want true remote viewing to take place, and I want to know it. I want to know what's true. So this is the first stage here. I call this an ideograph. Ingo called it an ideogram. Ideograph means more to me for what is taking place there than the term ideogram. Ideograph tells me more. It's more of what I want. This is dimensional sensations, again, proprioception. This is pattern separation, and this is pattern completion. These are the four main elements of the first page. Pattern separation means that the quote-unquote input is moving through my medulla oblongata. It's moving through my brainstem. It's going into my dentate gyrus. It's moving into the CA3 area of my brain, moving through those pyramidal cells, and I'm beginning to experience a novel environment, dimensionally, the dimensions of it. How far away, vast, dense, soft, hollow. I'm going to experience it on a dimensional level. Is there movement? All that stuff is what I want. pattern separation will be if a concept comes in, but it's a very wide-ranging concept. If it comes in as a solid memory, then I call that a memory comparator, but it's also technically it's called pattern completion in neuroscience. Those neurons have completed. A memory is formulated that has latched on to and it's completed. It would be termed an AOL in the CRV language. Let's see what's happening here. That one worked. That one worked. That ideograph produced, I'm experiencing a dimensional sensation. I don't know how to describe it yet in the first few seconds. Seconds are ticking. There's motion there. Like a wash. This is what my body is doing inside. I'm going like this, and it's like a wash. I keep it I keep my neurons from completing. I don't want pattern completion. I want a pattern separation. It's like a wash. If you don't know what a wash is, if you're not from Arizona, I lived in Arizona. I know what a wash is. This is a wash. This is the Wahib Wash in Utah. That's the wash. It's a flash flood. This is exactly what I'm experiencing. Not conceptually. I'm experiencing it dimensionally. This is what I'm feeling. Well, I'm feeling it coming through. My whole body is doing it. That's what I call it. That's what happened here. That's what happened here. There it is. There's the water coming through. There's the wash coming in. My body is moving. I can feel all of my proprioception. All my nerve endings are doing this. Not all these attempts are any good. I only use the ones where an actual remote viewing element is taking place. Otherwise, move on to the next one. It's fast. This is what I'm experiencing. Dimensionally, it's outside. Go for a few more. See if anything else feels real. Is it bringing anything? I had to clear it out right there. There's something in that one. There it is. Now I start to move with the dimensional sensation. Now this is this is my state to its entry to its formation. keeping my pattern separations as notions. Dropping down some senses here. Not too many. I don't want to go too many. I want to get back, stay with the dimensional sensation. There's the dimensionality here. See, that's a good pattern complete there too, because basically it looks like a bomb went off here. So it's a decimated place. And this also was bringing up a memory comparison of like a mushroom type cloud. And so I don't want to go there. It doesn't match anything else. It doesn't have a remote viewing sense. All I know is that on the horizon there's a big thing here. Like that. There's a big dense dimensionality here. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not trying to solve the mysteries of the universe here. All I want to do is work and exercise more the elements here that experience dimensional sensations. Which is happening right now. There's my dimensional sense. Now, this has been happening internally for the past 5 minutes. So I'm externalizing it more now. I'm going with it. I want to experience it, become an element of it, not just describe it. Not just describe it for other people, which is really what remote viewing tends to be. Outside, some dimensional elements of it. That's what I'm feeling there. That came from that too. And now this is it. I got what I needed. I didn't want to continue on into entry 3 because I had achieved what I wanted, which was very strong dimensional sensations. And that's what I got, and that was the end of the experience. So I ended it. I didn't need to go any further. So that's just another example. Hope you find that interesting. The goal here again is to introduce something. My goal that I'm attempting to create is to move beyond describe the target remote viewing and into more experiential, dimensional experiential experiences. And if they can be documented for other people and they find it interesting, cool. It doesn't have to be. Remote viewing was designed to produce data for other people to look at and assess. That's just part of the world of remote viewing because it was set up that way. That doesn't mean it's going to continue that way. Remote viewing doesn't have to be that way. It just is now because people find it fascinating. But the individual human being can go and experience dimensional sensations, experience these ranges of time and space for themselves. It doesn't have to be for anybody else, just for themselves. So anyway, hope you find that interesting. Many more to go.